25th of January, I set sail from Norway to Shetland to participate in the Aanderaa Viking festival. After this, I decided to let my boat stay in Shetland until the 12th of April to bring to life a many years old dream. 200 nautical miles further northwest of Shetland, there are some islands which represents one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. I was going to the Faroe Islands.
One for the captain. The Faroe Islands.
So join me on this North Atlantic adventure.
Stay tuned.
And let's leave reality behind just for a brief moment.
Welcome aboard again.
Finally, the waiting was over, and I could get on with my voyage from Norway to Shetland.
The exits are one door at the front of the cabin, two overwing exits in the centre of the aircraft, and one door at the rear of the cabin.
During the flight, we passed the incredible Faroe Isle, where I earlier made a sailing video from.
So that's it. 209 nautical miles in winter, cold, open, blue ocean, North Sea.
Further on, the Shetland Islands occurred, and I could proceed towards the Lervik Marina, where my boat had been staying for the last 3 months. It was a big moment to come back to my little adventure machine again. Anxious to get her into sailing mode, I had to get the boat fueled up and take on board all the water and food supplies needed for the great adventure to the Faroes. To be in a favorable position for this, I headed up the Whalsay Sound and got myself all tied up in the center of Lervik at the Victoria Pier. I was officially back on Shetland. Two days later, I was almost ready to leave. I got the water and food supplies, some of it more important than others. And the last thing remaining was to get the diesel tank all filled up before departure. I was heading for a small place called Burravoe, 20 miles away or 3.5 hours sailing. I planned to stay there overnight to get a good rest before setting off over the North Atlantic. As I rolled out my foresail, a fresh breeze got a hold of my boat and instantly gave us speed towards our first destination. I was on my way.
Lorvik to Burravoe. It's hard to pronounce. Burravoe, they call it here. And it's yeah, pretty nice waves there. 2-3 meters. Pretty heavy waves, big and heavy waves. Crashing the boat over and leaning her over. It's great fun. So we have Whalsay just here now. I'm just gonna turn my course in between, and then we are pretty soon in Burravoe. Looking forward to that.
As I was closing into Whalsay, the heavy waves calmed down and I could have a little breathe with flat water as I passed through the Whalsay Sound. Whalsay is a small community with 1,400 peoples. They mainly live off the fishing industry, have their own little airport and a ferry which connects them to the mainland. After some minutes of sailing, I was through the sound and into the open ocean again, and the wind and waves came back. Burravoe was getting close.
Burravoe now. 1 mile left, and yeah, some heavy tidal streams coming this way now with the waves. So it's pretty choppy, but it's gonna be a nice and narrow entering to the harbour, and yeah, I'm excited. Soon to be there.
The sails got rolled in and the engine started. The entrance is narrow and shallow. Navigation buoys are leading you safely into the little but well-sheltered harbour of Burravoe. This has been used by mariners since the 1500s. I tried mooring up to the gas pontoon, but my echo sounder scared me just too much to give it a go. So I backed up and settled at the end of the pier. I had finally reached the start point of my North Atlantic crossing.
Burravoe. Not much happening here. It's yeah, it's almost nothing here. It's just grass-covered hills and a couple of houses and yeah, a house with a upside-down boat as a roof. That's the only thing here. But it's a nice, very sheltered marina, and yeah, I think it's time to take some pictures, some drone pictures. Even though it's pretty windy here, I'm gonna try and make myself ready for tomorrow, the big day, the departure for Faroe Islands. Finally, the day is here, and the weather forecast looks amazing. So we'll see. I'm gonna have some beers now and celebrate that everything has gone this well so far. Okay, see you soon.
The next morning I woke up to a strong southeasterly breeze. The weather forecast said this wind would keep steady the next 2 days. So getting myself over the North Atlantic to the Faroe Islands looked promising. So I made myself ready and headed out towards the Whalsay Sound.
From Burravoe at 11 o'clock now, and I'm on my way out the channel, and it will be a bumpy ride against the wind a little bit and the waves out throughout the channel, and then I will turn her with the wind and proceed out Whalsay Sound with full power downwind. Looking forward to that. More.
As I proceeded out the wavy sound, one wave just a little bit bigger than the other rolled my boat over enough to tip my $3,000 Nikon DSLR camera over, for it to fall all the way down on the cabin floor, smashing it to total. Well, what can I say? Let's carry on.
Doing some serious speed now by engine. I'm going through a narrow sound, and it's wow, 4 meters, no, 4 knots of current with us. So we're doing 9 knots, up to 9 knots. That's pretty heavy. And started to get at the Whalsay Sound. And when we are in a little bit more sheltered water, I will hoist the mainsail and get the boat ready for some downwind sailing again. Yep.
On my way throughout the sound, I passed the car ferry Tvroyri, connecting the island of Whalsay to the mainland. This meant that I was getting close to entering the last of calm waters before the big blue ocean would set in. This was my last chance to get the mainsail hoisted. The wind had picked up to peaking 30 knots, way over what the weather reports predicted. This again meant that I had to put in my third reef on the mainsail to cope with the new conditions. So without no further ado, I turned the boat into the wind and got the sail hoisted and ready to take on the heavy seas waiting ahead. As always, there was a lot of fuss getting the mainsail correctly set, with the reef lines blowing in all directions. But once it was up, the boat was nicely tuned, and I could eventually set the course towards the open sea. I was starting to get the right feeling, and the adrenaline rised. Due to the strong wind, I started off only flying the mainsail, as I made good speed without the use of foresail. I was stoked. One last jibe. One last course and sail correction. And I could tie off the steering wheel. and adjust the hydro vane to steer the boat along the 200 nautical mile line towards Tvroyri, the most southerly island of the Faroes. On my way towards the Big Blue, I passed what would be my last sight of land. 1 mile offshore, the majestic Groony rocks rising above the sea, like shark fins protecting the entrance into the Shetlands from ancient intruders, waving me goodbye as I slowly left the roaring shoals. Leaving reality behind and embraced the adventure lying ahead. I was finally on my way offshore.
Sailing vessel Tempe, Shetland Coast Guard, over.
Yes, Shetland Coast Guard, sailing vessel Tessie, good afternoon. I just want to report my departure from Shetland, and I am going to Faroe Islands. Faroe Islands.
Sailing vessel Tempe, Shetland Coast Guard, roger. And what is your ETA to the Faroes, over?
The ETA to the Faroes is about 24 hours from now. That's I think it's 1600 tomorrow, 1600.
Sailing vessel Tempe, Shetland Coast Guard, roger. And how many persons on board, over?
I'm one person, alone, one person on board.
Sailing vessel Tempe, Shetland Coast Guard, roger. And what life-saving equipment do you have on board, over?
Life-saving equipment. I have EPIRB and a life raft and 2 survival suits.
Sailing vessel Tempe, Shetland Coast Guard, roger. Many thanks for informing us. Should you require us along your passage, we will be listening out channel 16, over.
Okay, thank you very much. Going back to 16 then, thank you. One for Tessie. One for King Neptune. And one for the captain. Wow. Welcome aboard again. This time the North Atlantic Ocean. I'm 25 nautical miles away from the mainland of Shetland now. Oops. And there are huge waves out here. Look at this. It's climbing now to maybe 3-4 meters. And the wind is from southeast, perfectly in my sails from the side, a little bit aft of my beam. So everything is amazingly good now. And we're doing 6-7 knots and 25 knots of wind about. And yeah, we are just plunging through the waves here and sliding along just as the North Sea, the last North Sea in January. Perfect. Oops. I'll be fine. Yeah, so it's amazing to be out here. I've never been here before, and this is my first time. So it's as new to me as it is for you watching this. So it's just to hold the course and see what happens. Whoops. Okay. There are some oil platforms showing up now. We have one in this direction. I can see it, maybe you can't see it, but it's far away. But we're getting close to the clear oil field. I think it's the clear oil field. It's named. So it's starting to get exciting to get out there and see how it is. I've been waiting for this for many years. Oh. That's a good wave. Oh. That's a good 4 or 5 meters. Whoa. That's another one. But I'm amazed how the boat copes with these conditions. It's just sliding along, 6-7 knots all the way, and triple reefed mainsail with pretty good furl in Genoa. And whoa! Boat is just getting lifted up many meters and then it just falls down again. But I guess that's the North Atlantic for you. It's a little bit cold. Let's go down then. And get my hands warmed up. Oh, that's nice. Jesus Christ, that freak wave just smashed over the boat, and look at this. I have the washboard closed, even though the water is flushing down the chart table here. Just let me. This reminds me of the last video. The ocean just won't let me go every time. But I'm used to it, it's okay. Well, it's gotten pretty dark, and I think this is a good opportunity to show you the flashlight I got from a company called Army Tech. I'm gonna put the link under my video in the description so we can find the product. We'll go out there and see how it works. Yeah, I'm gonna get out there. Oh, just gotta be careful with those waves here now. Let's see. I hope. Oh wow, look at that. That is amazing. Wow. Check out the sails. Whew, that's something else. Jesus Christ. It's like a searchlight. You can see the wave tops. See the bird here? Seagull. Scaring to shit. Oops. Oh. Time to recharge the batteries a little bit. Lithium has been it was 40% left now after 15 hours of sailing, and everything with power is on, so it's very good. Radar, chart plotters, lights, everything, and the heater. And now you can see we are charging with 150 amps, and that's about 1 hour with charge, and it's completely full again, so it's a good system now. So lots of power all the way, just one reload during this trip and that's it. 1 hour. Love it. Favorite thing on the day is take when you need to take a piss in these waves, and your toilet is 1/2 square meter, and the guy going in is 1 square meter. So it's always interesting. Oh shit! And whatever goes in the bowl doesn't hit the bowl, it hits everywhere else, so we have a washing job that is 10 times the work of just taking a piss. So, well, I'm gonna spare you this. See you. Muggles filled with salt water coming from the companionway. What more do you need? Sail check and situation check. It is. Damn, that's a strong light. It is pretty wild out here now. We are exactly halfway between Shetland and Faroe Islands, so this is as far as you come from land. The water depth is 1200 meters here, so it's very deep. And the waves are long and heavy, and but Tessie is doing really great. We are flushing away 7, 8, 9 knots now. The wind has picked up a little bit. We are about 27, 28 knots of wind, and yeah, it's really great to be out here. This is really wild, again a wild nature experience. I love it. It's so nice to see the boat coping this well due to the conditions. So yeah, enjoying it a lot. I'm so glad I did it. It's so worth it. Sometimes you think that why do I do this? You know, big waves alone in this little boat so far offshore, but it's so incredibly fun when everything goes alright, of course. Amazing.
When the sunlight occurred, some huge Atlantic waves got revealed and woke me up wishing me a good morning. Still reminding me very clearly who was in charge out here. During the night I did get a little seasick of all the movements. But along with the hours passing, I got rid of it and was ready for the last day of sailing before arriving my goal.
Again, everyone, doing great here. The time is 9 o'clock in the morning now, and second day. The night is past, and it was a fresh night. As you could see, it was a lot of waves and wind tonight, and it's no less right now. Still 27, 26 knots of wind. And up to, whoops, 4 meter waves. 4 meter waves, 5 meter maybe, 3 to 5 meters, and we have 45 nautical miles to go, so we are closing in on the huge volcanic islands, so I can't wait to watch them pop up in the horizon. It's gonna be amazing. Many year long dream for me, and now it's gonna happen. So we're doing great. I have some couple of issues with my my diesel heater is the Webasto is stopping. It's not working anymore. It was getting pretty cold and moist in the boat, but you know, it doesn't matter as long as the boat can sail and it's safe. Then who needs a heating device inside? So I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna get dressed a little better. That's it. Yeah, so we're just lounging on and go straight to Tvroyri on Faroe Island. Can't wait. During this film you can probably see that I don't have any Nikon shots, close-ups with my DSLR here. It's smashed. I had it up on the top here, like that, and a big wave outside Burravoe when I was leaving Burravoe by engine. This one, it tipped down and landed straight down here, and lands first to the floor. And it's working, but the picture is just, it's a black thick line on the bottom of the picture, so this looks like something won't open up completely. So that's a $3,000 camera, but whatever. So again, if you want to support me on this Patreon site, you're more than welcome. My trips are starting to get pretty expensive, so maybe I can get a new one, maybe I can fix this, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, ice cold. Oh, perfect. I just want to say thank you to a company in Germany called Openwind. They supplied me and let me try their little unit. It's a wind gauge, completely wireless, and it's got a solar panel on the top there, so it never runs out of battery, and it's on Bluetooth, so you can have it on your phone as an app, and you can watch the wind, and it also measures the tilt and roll of the boat. Whoops. And it's brand new, and I'm one of the first to try it out on a boat. So thank you, Openwind. Check it out. I'll put a product link in the description under the video. Right. Lost bird. Probably on his way to Faroe Islands himself. Well, you can join me if you want. So away. Poor little thing. Epic moment! I can see the Tvroyri, the south end of Tvroyri. It took some time before I saw it. Like I had to come really close, about 10 nautical miles before I saw it. But here it is. I'm heading for Tvroyri, I think the name is, on the place in the island I'm heading for. It's about 2 hours left, I think. before we're inside. And my heater is still broken, so it's getting pretty moist and cold inside. So I hope they have shore power in Tvroyri, so I can hook up my my 220 oven to have some heat. And I also need a beer. I think I'm gonna need a beer with this. So, well, let's see how things develop as we get closer there.
The feeling of watching Tvroyri rise larger and larger as I approached left no doubt that the nature here was just as majestic and grand like the tales told. And even more. And if you take your time to get around the Faroe Islands, you will encounter breathtaking and almost unreal scenery like the Faroes' largest islet of Tindhólmur. With its 265 meters above sea level, it stands out with its 5 peaks named Farthest, Eagle, Small, Broad and Bent. You will also discover the Faroes' most remote village, Gasadalur. Surrounded by 700-meter high mountains and a beautiful waterfall running into the ocean, it makes the place look like something from a fairy tale. Volcanic mountains shaped through the Ice Age led me safely in towards the approach to the small village of Tvroyri. The beautiful little place with its 1700 inhabitants live mainly of the fishing industry. The people of Tvroyri have their own concert house rebuilt from an old salt storage fabric, and the ferry Smyril transporting people and goods up to Tórshavn, the main city on the Faroes. A beautiful church thrones on the highest point of the village. This was produced in blocks in Norway, then transported to Tvroyri, then built on site here in 1908. When I arrived here, I was sure it would be a lonely stay for me. But little did I know that I was about to be welcomed by the mayor of Tvroyri, Mr. Kristin Mikkelsen, and the harbour master Christian. I got invited to join Kristin's family for dinner, beers, rum and cola, a moment I will never forget. During my first attempt entering the harbour, my echosounder again scared me as I did my approach. Locals quickly showed up and redirected me to what was the village's official guest berth. It was a great feeling to be this welcome and to get all the good help finally tying up Tessie after 2 days of crossing the ever untamed North Atlantic. My many years old goal was reached. I was tied up on the mighty Faroe Islands.
me and my boat on Tvroyri on Faroe Island, or on Tvroyri, the most southerly island on Faroe Islands. An amazing experience to see the island here. That's the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my whole life. The cliffs of the west coast of the Tvroyri. That's something that I will never forget. And it's so amazing to be alone doing this, because I'm completely free. I can do whatever I want. Nobody's telling me what to do, and I can take all my time, all the time it needs to get this film done. And I really hope you enjoy this. This is the hardest work ever to get these clips, both on the boat offshore and on the islands here. So I hope the film will come together, and I will make a good story of it, and that you will really like it, and share it and pass it on to other people that may be interested in it. So that's it for me now. I'm going up to Whalsay with the boat, 6 hours sailing, and I will do the rest of my drone shots there, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So I'll see you later.
Traveling around the Tvroyri, you will find beautiful small villages placed in almost every naturally sheltered bay. All protected by huge volcanic mountains. Although the villages have been around for many decades, the Faroe is today one of the most modern and well-developed island communities in the world. My mission is now complete. My dream is fulfilled. If I have learned any lesson of my journeys, it must be that hard work pays off. If you really want something and wish for it bad enough, it's impossible to fail. Success might not come the first time, nor the second, or the third, but eventually you will succeed. There's no other way around it. It will happen. And if adversity wants to put you down and restrict your goals, well then, let's beat to quarters.